What's going on, VC? My name is Rod. I welcome you back to the Man Cave, my friends. It's a video about my favorite reissues of 2022. I'm not saying these are the best reissues that came out this year. I'm not saying they're the best sounding, the best quality. I'm saying they're my favorite, or some of my favorite reissues that come out in 2022. Hard to believe it's 2022 and 2022 is almost over. Holy moly, man. Time flies. Time really flipping flies, bro. Anyway, let's get on with this list. Like I said, this isn't a definitive collection of the best sounding frickin' reissues made this year. These are ones I dig. I dig Alice in Chains. It's a Walmart reissue on red vinyl. Had this on CD when it came out, Alice in Chains. I think half the VC showed this album. I think we all own this album, Alice in Chains. Very good sounding, really good quality. It's all digital. It came from that time period. It's not an analog source, but it sounds great, man. It's a really good reissue of a very fantastic album. Next up, going back 60 years for this one, John Coltrane, Johnny Hartman on Impulse. A great reissue all the way around. Good sturdy cover. Haven't even broke the spine on this one. Fantastic album. It's vocal jazz. A lot of people don't dig that. It is on Impulse, if you could see that. Hartman's voice is amazing. Man can sing. I mean, this man can sing. Beautiful music, beautiful vocals. Sounds incredible. Did a hell of a job remastering this album. Impulse Records. And these are not necessarily in any order, except I get to the end, then it will be. Art Pepper. Mono reissue. I don't know if the stereo one ever came out. It was supposed to come out a couple months ago. They may have delayed it. But this was actually a craft recording. And this one was going to be a record store day issue. The mono remaster, reissue, craft recordings. Sounds flippin' amazing. First off, it's a great album. Great jazz album by this man. And they did a wonderful, wonderful job at it. This is Joni Mitchell, 2022 reissue of this legendary album. There's nothing to show. The name of the album is Blue. The cover is blue with her beautiful face. The reissue's done. They really raised her voice on it, man. They brought down kind of the instrumentation, if that's what you're saying, on the album. Her voice is very clear on this. One of the greatest albums ever made, in my opinion. And they did a fantastic job reissuing it. Finding a clean copy of that album was really flipping hard. Because they were played. They were loved on. They were played. So I'm really glad. I kept my original copy, man. I just can't get rid of it. But this is a fantastic reissue. Sounds wonderful. If you've not heard this album, start with the reissue. It's going to blow your mind out. If you've got an old copy you want to upgrade, go ahead, my friends. Getting into the nitty gritty. These actually may be in order, I think. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the top 4. Reissues of 2022. Pink Floyd Animals. Again, everybody showed this album. Everybody talked about this album. Fantastic reissue. I would not get rid of my original copy, but I'm keeping both, and this sounds great, guys. Great reissue of my personal favorite Pink Floyd album they ever did. Coming in at number 3, John Coltrane's Blue Train. This is the double record set that came out this year. It came out as a single in mono or a double in stereo. I wish they would come with a little booklet inside here. Really good reissue. You really get something for your money on this one. Got a booklet inside here. Good sturdy cover. You can see. Arguably one of the best jazz albums ever made. I would definitely put it in my top 5 jazz albums that ever was created. Like I said, you can get the single album in mono, or you can buy the stereo and the double. And with the double, you get a bunch of outtakes and stuff. And I really like the outtakes, but I'd love to hear the mono. Is it worth me spending the money to get the mono? Probably not. That's why I wish they would have included it on this. But one day I may come across it. Fantastic reissue. Down to the nitty gritty. My 2 favorite reissues. My favorite. Feel free to make them your favorite if you want to. Feel free to disagree. The Beatles' Revolver. Fantastic reissue. Can't say anything about it that you haven't already heard. Sounds great. One of my favorite Beatle albums. Okay, this leaves the my number 1 favorite reissue. Let's see, they didn't reissue any Grateful Dead this year. No. They didn't reissue a Rolling Stone album this year, so it could only be one thing. Jimi Hendrix. Look, a lot's been said about these. Are they worth the money? That's up to the individual, man. That's up to you, the buyer, the consumer. To me, it was worth it. UHQR. We've all seen these things. Are they overpacked? I don't know. Are they? That's up to the person who's buying it, what their opinion is. It's Jimi Hendrix reissue of, I'm going to say it, man, of the greatest rock and roll album ever made, in my opinion. Did a wonderful job doing this. I've got a couple different copies of this album. I was opening my drawer because I have a cassette floating around somewhere. I've got it on album. I've got it on cassette. I've got it on CD. In my opinion, greatest rock and roll album ever. The Jimi Hendrix Experience. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to go ahead and show this off. Beautiful clear vinyl. The sound is just amazing. I mean, it truly is an amazing album. And they did an amazing job reissuing this thing. Very clear. I like the way they send the album outside the cover now. For a while, when they were sending these out, they were sending the album inside the cover, and it was causing seam splits. But thank God they learned from their mistake before I bought one. Favorite reissue of 2022. I'd love to hear your favorite reissues. Maybe you're not into reissues. You just look for the OGs. I'd love to hear that too, guys. I'm going to do a video a couple more times this year about my favorite new albums, blah, blah, blah. Peace. Guys, be good to each other and be good to yourself.